Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to our exciting show. It's called Our Sikh World, and together with Lady Singh and Mrs. Maker, we'll be discussing a very interesting subject, a subject that is very important to us, and it's all about equality. Waheguru Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the show, and I think this is the early episodes that we've been doing,
yes.
And it's so good to meet you again. I know we had conversations before, but it's a really interesting subject, only because in our religion we believe in equality between men and women. So what I wanted to first of all explore was what have our gurus actually said about equality, and what have they actually done? And this was obviously inspire all the people, men and women, to exercise that equality.
I would say, so kyun manda akhiye jit jamme rajan kinni vaddi gal Guru Sahib kare raje maharaje jehde aj tusi hain onu jammya kinne hai is to zyada ucha Guru Sahib aurat nu kis tarah bitha sakte hain.
Bilkul. So just like Guru Sahib hoye, at that time women were treated very badly. All religions were treating them very badly. They were called Pair-di Jutti, or a machine to give birth to children, things like that. And Guru took the cause, women's cause, and saying, no, how can you call her bad when she's the one who gives birth to everyone?
And gives birth to kings as well.
Yeah, anyone in the world, can you think of anyone who she doesn't give birth? It's only God who's beyond a woman's birth, otherwise everyone, and we should be thankful. How can we give her a lower status? Having said that women are equal with men, equality doesn't happen.
Let's talk about what was happening at the time of the Guru. There were things like female infanticide.
At the time,
sati, is that right?
Yeah, at the time of the Gurus, both, they were mostly Hindu and Muslim communities, both the communities gave women a very low status. For in one religion, the women was as low as the Shudras, the lowest. Even she was born a Brahmin or a Khatri or anything, she had a lower status. And in the other religion, she was nonentity. Nobody was interested. She was there to serve men. She was there to give birth to children. And
there was also a situation that if women were unfortunately widowed, then they couldn't marry again?
Yeah, they could duje tarmaj anna low kar diya. ਤੇ ਨੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਫੀਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਇੰਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਲੋ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਕੇ ਔਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਤੀ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਜਿਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਹਸਬੈਂਡ ਦੀ ਡੈਥ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਔਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਾ ਜਲਦਿਆਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰਥਾ ਸੀਗੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹ ਇੰਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੈ ਨੌਨ ਐਗਜ਼ਿਸਟੈਂਸ ਆਦਮੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਆਦਮੀ ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਪਰ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸਤੀਆਂ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਆਖੀਏ ਜੇ ਮੜੀਆਂ ਜਲ ਸਤੀਆਂ ਸੇ ਆਖੀਏ ਜੇ ਬਿਰੇ ਚੋਟ ਸਨ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਗਰਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਔਰਤ ਦਾ ਜਿਗਰੇ 'ਚ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾੜਦੇ ਪਿਓ ਇਹ ਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਆਦਮੀ ਚਲਾ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿਯੋਗ ਵਿੱਚ क्योंकि सब तो वड्डा दुख गुरु ग्रंथ साहब ने कहा एक विछोड़ा एक दुख भोग सब तो वड्डा दुख जो सानू दसिया गया गुरु ग्रंथ साहब ने विछोड़े का दुख है वो तुसी ना डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हो ना तुसी कढ़ सकते हो यू कैन नॉट इट्स वेरी हार्ड टू डील दैट विछोड़े का दुख एक विछोड़ा ते कहंदे जदों तुसी इन्हां नूं जिंदा जिहड़ियां मेरे हिसाब नाल ओ असली सत्तियां हैगियां जिहड़ियां कि अपने हस्बैंड दे विछोड़े विच जी के भी और फिर संसारिक काम विच ते ओ असी मेरे सामने सत्ती ए वड्डी इन्नी चीज़ कह देनी उस तो बाद रिफॉर्म होया है पर लुक एट गुरु नानक देव जी ने
So I was interviewing Harinder Singh a few years ago, and he said that he described Guru Nanak as a revolutionary.
Exactly.
Somebody who actually said that men and women are equal.
His social reforms were revolutionary. To say there's no parda. At the time, the communities were having parda. There was not to be any infanticide. And so much so said, if you deal in infanticide, you're not my Sikh. And widow remarriage. In those days, the girls and men were married at the age of 6 and 7 and 8. And 7-year-old girl is widowed. And there was no such thing as remarriage. She grew up to be a widow. And there was no respect for widows either. They were ill-treated, really treated badly. But Guru's sayings were that this is a woman as equal as men, not superior or not inferior. Now, sometimes people get the equality wrong. They say, oh, equality means same. We are not same, but we are equal to do anything we want to do. That's the difference. Equality doesn't mean that you're a man, I'm a woman, my anatomy is different, yours. Each and every individual is different. It's God's creation. And it's amazing, isn't it? That nobody's fingerprints are similar to any.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time,
yeah.
we are equal. It's our right to do whatever we want to do. If Mata Pago wanted to be a soldier, and God's Guru's blessings were there. At that time, Guru's time, women mostly did the housework. And they were assigned. It's not that it was their choice. They couldn't do anything else. They were assigned to do that.
Is it because the opportunities weren't given to them?
That's right. That's right. And then the Guru said, no, women can do whatever they want. If you read the Guru Granth Sahib, you'll see Patani Bani, that Mata Khivi, Guru Angad Dev Ji's wife. Because Langar was the institution most important because of the equality it was
and
teaching.
it talks about equality, doesn't it? The fact that it doesn't matter what level of society you're from, you know, you can sit down together and you're all the same.
High or low or Akbar, whether you're Maharaja or you're a pauper. So they all sit together and have langar. And that was a big responsibility to make it continue. That. And because at that time, even those Guru's disciples will come and see him, but they'll disappear at the time of the langar. They didn't want to eat because they didn't want to mix with other classes, other castes. And Mata Khivi, as the parts write in Guru Granth Sahib, the only one person whose praises are in the Guru Granth Sahib is Mata Khivi, apart from the Gurus. No other human being's praises are there apart from God. It's God's praises. And Mata Khivi, Nek Jan, जिस बहु छात पत्राली लंगर दौलत वंडिया रस खीर ख्याली उन्होंने कहा कि इतनी सेवा कर दी है माता खीवी जड़ी है खीवी नेक जान वो बड़ी नेक औरत है जिस तरह वड्डा ट्री हुंदा ना ओदी जड़ी छां हुंदी है ओदी छां है ते कहंदी पता नहीं कित्थों पैसे लिया के ते सोनिया ते लंगर भी वरतांदी है ते दौलत जड़ी है लंगर च आंदी है उन्हें बड़े सोना मैनेज करके सारा वरतांदी है There was no such thing as women taking administration jobs.
Guru Sahib ऐस हद तक चाहते ये जदों विआह होंदा है लड़के और लड़की दा इकट्ठे बैठते हैं कि एक जोत दो ही मूर्ति हुण इस तो ज़्यादा इक्वालिटी तुहानूं कौन कहेगा एक एक अखर विच देखो कि हद कर दित्ती इक्वालिटी दी गुरु साहब ने एक जोत दो ही मूर्ति इत्थे तक कि हुण बाणी विच जदों सन दसदे है कि भी असीं सारियां सहेलियां वां गुरु एक पुरख होवे बाकी सब नार सबाई हैं.
We were talking about this just before the program started that in Guru Granth Sahib we talk about is that the husband lord isn't there you know which is God and then we are seen as
that's right कि इको अकाल पुरख God is the man we are all
पुरख सब नारी
सारियां नारी नूं इन्ना हिसाब विच कोई डिफरेंस है ही नहीं फॉर गुरु नानक देव जी ऐसी ऑल ह्यूमन बीइंग है सारे इक्को जी यू नो इस तो ज्यादा होर तुहानूं असी बाद ही डिफरेंस ही नहीं जी कुड़ी वाले है डॉरी वेयर डॉरी केम है जिसी गुरु साहब दी टीचिंग्स नूं पढ़िए असी गुरु ग्रंथ साहब नूं पढ़िए ते ਇਹ चीज़ साडी रिलीजन च होनी नहीं चाहिए जब एक दो बंदे इक्को तरह एक जोत दो ही मूर्ति तो ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ कोई फर्क सोशली वाई हुई है और ऐसे करके अजकल से साडी बच्चियां जड़ियां लड़कियां रिसेंट कर रही हैं इंटर में कि तुसी पर ਇਹ ਸਾਡੀ गलती है.
Do you think sometimes that level of thinking is sometimes influenced by not necessarily you know one family trying to outdo another family or do you think it's down to an influence from another religion and they say well actually they do it then we should do it as well that there isn't any respect for their own religion because our religion tells us that you know it's important for you not to do those practices.
No, I don't think it's anything to do with it. It's a showing off. When you got money people started showing off and the poor people who didn't have money they had to borrow to match you know it's more like a social thing. Nothing religious. Religion no si padiye te cheez exist nahi honi.
But then if we go back just for a second, because we started talking about the historical aspect of it, and we'll come back. What we'll do as we move along, we'll talk about what we can do in the future and how we can inspire today's generation as well as women of you know whatever generation to make that change because obviously there are more things to change. If we look at the history, we were talking about if you look at Maharaja Ranjit Singh, right? Maharaja Ranjit Singh's mother for example, very influential.
Yeah.
And also there's cases where, during the times of fighting for freedom, against Mughal tyranny, we had women, taking a lead in that,
Yes. See, once gurus taught equality and then got rid of all the social anti-women customs like the dowry, the parda, the infanticide,
yeah.
and all, and then they made access. They made sure that women have access to equality. You can't have access if you're not equally educated or so. Gurus have had 52 PDs where the women were taught to learn the 3 R's and Gurbani and the Sikh teachings, so that they could pass that on to their children. At the same time, Guru Ramadas had buying manjiyan, because the Sikh community was getting larger and Guru couldn't go everywhere. So he had his representatives in different places. And 4 of them at that time were women leaders at that time, whereas in other religions, women were not allowed to go and pray together. The first time Guru Nanak opened Sangat and Pangat. So women, before Guru's time, women weren't allowed to take part in the prayers. And whereas Sikh women not only went to the Gurudwaras, attended the service, they lead the services. And even now, up till now, you go, and it's most women who are doing part, and the Khand part and everything. Yeah. The same thing with the Pangat. Now, the work at home is considered low, mean. But Gurus have that's noble work. That's looking after family, looking after the children, and which men and women both should do. And that's in our langar. Men and women both go and do langar, do seva. So they gave dignity of labor to the housework as well.
देखो ए ओपनिंग सानू गुरु साहब ने दिती ते हिस्ट्री बन गई ना गुरु साहब ने सानू कितनी इक्वल करके ओपनिंग देखो 40 मुक्ते जदों हैं जी गुरु साहब ने पिठ दिखा के आगे वी नो द हिस्ट्री है एंड आके फिर किसने लीड लिया माई पागो ने है ना उन्हें कहा तुसी गुरु ਨੂੰ ਪਿੱਠ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਅੱਜ ਉਹ ਦੇਖੋ 40 ਮੁਕਤੇ ਕਿੰਨਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ करके पूरा है हिस्ट्री बना के और फिर आज देखो ਅਸੀਂ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਹੀ ਚਲਾ सो ਇਹ लीड ਦਿੱਤੀ गई और फिर एक्ट किस तरह ਕੀਤਾ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਲੇਡੀਜ਼ ਨੇ सो पावर गिवन अब्यूज नहीं हुई कदी पावर यही चीज़ है उन जड़ी चीज़ नो आज सारी दुनिया झगड़ रही है टू गेट इक्वालिटी इन वुमेन है वो सानू गुरु ने विरसे च मिली है एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी आर स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड एट होम एनीवेयर वी आर नॉट फेल्ट डिफरेंट यू नो Sikh women.
So, we actually look at the time of Guru Gobind Singh as well.
Yeah, see, once women got equality, then we see very, very famous Sikh women like Mata Gujri.
Yeah.
See, she had her husband who was beheaded, martyred. She had her son. She had her grandchildren. How she gave advice to the grandchildren. And it's not just that. Guru Gobind Singh was only 9 years old. And she was the one who was heading the Sikh community. She was the leader at that time. And I must praise the Sikh community. They didn't refuse that. They accepted her leadership. And after Mata Gujri, we see Mata Sundari. She was heading the leadership at the most difficult time. Guru Gobind Singh had expired, and Banda Bahadur had come on the scene, and there was great, great wars going on. And there was Mata Sundari heading the Sikh community. After that, there was a very difficult period when men were out of their homes and huts. You know that how they were persecuted, they were hiding in jungles. It was the women. So British writer writes that a Sikh woman is a very confident woman who will hire a servant and get a horse or a donkey, whatever she can afford, and will go and till the land. And will look after the elderly, and will look after the children in the absence of her husband. They did everything. And so when Mir Mannu came, he got women persecuted as well. He got the children cut off and slain and put the wreaths around their necks. Women tolerated all that. And when they came out of this persecution time, came and became rulers, there were 29 Sikh women as Maharanis. Because men were not capable, and they were running the show, running there. And Maharaja Ranjit Singh, we are very proud of him. He was a great man. But what we forget, and what the historians have forget, haven't given her the right place, that it was Maharani Sadakaur. He was only 11. Maharaja Ranjit Singh was 11-year-old.
His mother.
Mother-in-law.
Yeah, mother-in-law.
Okay.
Okay.
Mother-in-law. And she headed the armies. She was the one who stood under the Lahore Qila castle and shouted, "Come Muhammad, come and fight with the Sikhs and show us." And he got scared and ran and won Lahore. All the little principalities and all the little
Why do you think
were
that,
won by her.
in your view, that obviously you've done a lot of research, and you're interested in the subject as well. Why is it that it's not as well documented, or do you think it's not as well documented for a start?
I think one thing. We were, at that time, Sikhs were under the rule of Muslims. Muslims didn't give equality to women.
Yeah.
The other thing was, it was all by men. Men wrote history. Sikh history was written mostly by Muslim writers. And then when it came to the Sikh writers as well, they just copied what the Muslims were writing, and they ignored. So much so, Mata Gujri was leading the whole community. And all the praises are given to his brother, Kirpal Chand.
It does seem to have been pretty bad. I mean, if you look, for example, and you know about Queen, I would say Princess,
Sophia.
What was her queen? Sapphira, who was the daughter of Dalip Singh, the son of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, who was brought over to the UK after the annex of Punjab. Now, at the turn of the century, of the last century, she was a leading advocate of the suffragette movement to bring equality for women, women's votes in the UK.
That's right.
And is she mentioned in the movie? I know Anita Anand wrote a book. I think I forgot to bring it. I was going to bring it with me today, actually. But she wrote a book that spoke highly about, and she did a documentary for the BBC about her contribution. It's interesting. Maybe as with the Sikh roots, I wonder if she felt that, and that's the reason why she was fighting for equality, and side by side with Emily
Pankhurst. But see, but it's ironic in a way. In 1920, women were fighting here for freedom, and in India, Sikhs were fighting for freedom to get gurdwaras managed by the Sikhs, and the government gave them the right. That's when Shromani Committee Gurdwara Act and all. And Master Tara Singh was fighting, saying that women should get a right to vote as well. Remember, in there, men were given the right to vote, but women weren't. And Master Tara Singh, his letters are on record, saying that in our Gurdwaras, our women do equal work. They clean, they cook, they serve, they lead services, they do part, they do everything. They should be given the right. But because the British government hadn't given the right to vote to their own women, they weren't. So we weren't allowed to have right till India got independence in 1949 was the first time that women could vote for the management of the Gurdwaras as well. So Guru was far, far, far ahead of his time. He gave us equality handed on our plates, whereas other women had to fight. Now, my worry is that we are losing that freedom because we didn't have to fight. Women here had to, as
we
say,
take it for granted, isn't it? It came, देखो बीबी पानी, how can we forget बीबी पानी? हैं जी, गुरु अमरदास जी दी बेटी सन, हैं जी, और उस तो बाद गुरु रामदास जी दे भाई, गुरु अर्जन देव जी दी हैं. ते जिस वक्त उन्होंने कित्थों ली गद्दी भी साखियां जो सी सुनते पे हैं देखो हिस्ट्री में भी है साखी सानू इस वजह जो गुरु साहब दी सेवा करते पे सी बीबी पानी एज ए गुरु अपने फादर दी बात दे रही सी ते उन्हों दी जड़ा सी चुकी सी ओदी लत टुट गई ते गुरु साहब दे डिगन दा ते उन्होंने हथ रख के अपना खून ते गुरु साहब ने जब देखा कि बच्ची दा खून निकल के मैंने बचाया तो उन्होंने फिर यह किया कि तुसी की चाहते हो कहते सिक्खी तुसी अगे मैं चाहती हाँ घर सिक्खी रहे तो उन्होंने कहा ओके आई गिव यू जो असी साखी सुनी है मे बी हिस्ट्री मे नॉट ये एग्री बा साखियां तो असी यही ऐसे तो तुहानू स्ट्रेंथ आती है ऐसे तो है एंड उन्होंने कहा कि उन्होंने नज़ारा दिखा दी यह होएगा. She showed her that, and she accepted it fine.
It's quite interesting that you're saying that we're losing it. What do you mean by that? That women are losing the. Do you mean that they're losing the? It's taken for granted, and there. I mean, for example, if we return to thinking about the future,
Yeah.
right? And the present and the future direction. We have all these historic examples that we've spoken about of courage, of women, taking a stand and being inspired by the gurus, right? In terms of the gurus saying that this is what equality is, not all the practices that were going on at the time. Why is it today we still have female infanticide? Why is there still that attitude? And you mentioned before, the dowry unfortunate situation in some families. Why is that still prevalent? I know I asked it earlier on, that are people being influenced by other people, but is it because there isn't the I guess the knowledge that you do have inspiration from the women that we just spoke about?
What's this going on?
Yeah.
जिसी इतनी strongly सानू equality मिली हुई है और मुंडे कुड़ी कोई गुरु साहब ने फर्क ही नहीं रखा. So why it's happening? Ignorance, lack of knowledge.
Is lack of knowledge in terms of the history, or is it lack of knowledge of what you can
the
do?
Practice, yeah.
No, because lack of knowledge is one thing. Lack of knowledge of Guru's teachings, and that we are still sticking to non-Sikh practices of dowry. So that brings the women completely lower down, quite a bit lower down. That we are not prepared to say, this is what Guru says, and we are going to follow that. But we want to do what the other people, other communities are doing. We should do that. The other thing is, we are in the family. We are quite happy to send children, boys for education, further education, and not women.
But women girls are doing better than ever.
That's right.
Given a chance.
Given
a chance, but it's not happening in India as well either. It's happening here. The women are doing even better, but it's the chance is not given.
Is it a family attitude
issue? This is happening in low class, isn't it? The main, I think, the big thing, we have to attack this dowry thing. उन्होंने आज बच्ची पैदा हुई है, कितना इसका ब्याह करांगे, तो एक बारी कर्जे शुरू हो जाते हैं पिंडां च बेचारे हैं, वो कर्जा खत्म ही नहीं होता. So this is a circle. We have to attack this dowry thing. Dowry shouldn't exist. Very strongly, ना कोई और law बनने चाहिए और social, legal, religious embarrassment. Strongly, we need to work on dowry thing. No dowry.
I mean, we got like a few minutes left of the show. Time rushes by. If there was a message that each one of you wanted to give, literally just to say, what would you give as a message to women of today, and also girls that are inspiring for their future careers and things? What would you say?
We just say that Guru has given the equality, and stick to that. And we, especially the women of my age or even older than that, they have ingrained inequality, because they lived through inequality. I'm not
so they know what it means to exercise.
To exercise their equal rights.
Yeah.
They have ingrained that we are inferior. And they pass that on to the girls, you are inferior. And they pass on to their girls, you are inferior. And that doesn't help. And one thing we got to say, no, Guru said no. We got to learn to say no to the anti-Sikh practices.
Absolutely.
And stand up and say, no, this is not right.
Mr. Mukher, what would you say? We've got about 30 seconds.
Yeah, freedom and equality is given. Guru Sahib ne tan diti hui hai. I'm giving message to these girls. Please have it, preserve it, and don't abuse it. Prove them they're wrong and have it and relish it.
I would also say, we've got a few seconds, that, it is, we only just touched on a few examples, historical examples. When you look behind and you do even more research and you see how outstanding these women actually are in terms of what they've done, taken the inspiration of equality and put it into practice, because we started off the show by talking about, what did the Guru say and what actions did they go about? And ultimately those actions, and we spoke about this the other day actually, which is those are the actions that really inspire us to do things that make a change in society.
And the time has come, but we don't want to hear all the time, there's a great woman behind a great man. Absolutely. I want a great woman in front of it.
That's right.
Not always at the back.
That's really good. So it's so wonderful to meet everyone today and discuss this subject. I hope you enjoyed our episode of Our Sikh World. We look forward to seeing you next time. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.